Greetings from Costa Rica. I hope you're doing well. Well, the news of the day is just too big to ignore. I have to do a post quickly on the Costa Rica government announcement that they plan to require everybody to show proof of vaccination here in the country as of December 1st in order to enter a lot of public places. My intention today is not at all to express approval or disapproval of anything related to the government's decision, their announcement, COVID-19 vaccines, etc. My intention, in typical Costa Rica Matt fashion, is to offer some level-headed thoughts about it. First of all, as to why nobody should have been surprised by this. And second of all, a thought as to why, even if you're somebody who hates the idea of getting vaccinated, you should not panic. Stay tuned. Greetings from Costa Rica, folks. I hope you're doing well. This is Costa Rica Matt Rosensteel, broadcasting from Playa Junquillal in Guanacaste. As always, if you like straightforward, level-headed information about what's going on in Costa Rica, do be sure to subscribe to my channel. Today I'm talking about a topic that really I'm loath to address because the last thing I want to do is provoke any kind of huge fight in the comment section or even invite any kind of debate about COVID-19 into my life. However, yesterday or the day before, the Costa Rica government announced a presidential edict through which they plan to implement the requirement that as of December 1st, everyone will have to present proof of vaccination against COVID-19 in order to enter into public places. Today, I'm going to quickly talk about, number one, why no one should be surprised, and number two, why even if you don't want to be vaccinated, you should not be panicked about living in Costa Rica. First of all, let's touch on the fact why no one should have been surprised by this announcement. If you have raised children in Costa Rica, or if you plan to raise children here, you should know that Costa Rica has a mandatory vaccine policy for every baby born here in the country. That is implemented through the National Health Ministry, which is a very large and important ministry here that is a huge percentage of the government. Obviously, the public health system is a central component of life here, and they follow the CDC recommendation for the table that I think it's 9 different vaccines or rounds of vaccines that I saw that are the legally mandated vaccines Costa Rican children have. The government has had these policies, I think, since I saw some vaccines dating back to the 60s, but they are part of the culture here. The Ministry of Health has had this obligatory vaccine policy in place for as long as I personally know, and I don't think anybody should have been surprised because the Costa Rica government has always shown that it's very much using vaccines, and everybody should have seen that pattern coming. Now let's go on to a couple reasons as to why, if you're somebody who refuses to be vaccinated, you should not immediately panic about this. First of all, let's touch on the fact that frequently the Costa Rica government announces laws that don't come anywhere close to being implemented in the form in which they were originally announced. You've seen time and time again taxes, administrative documents, different things that they've tried to require people to do. They announce it, there's a huge backlash both by foreigners and Costa Ricans themselves, and pretty soon you start to see modifications, stepping back, etc. I would not be surprised if the presidential announcement yesterday that happened is not the final version of what we see happen on December 1st. And if you live here in Costa Rica, one of the best ways I can explain to you to enjoy your life and to lower your blood pressure is to never take anything that the government says from one day to the next as absolutely truth and completely finished law, because a lot of things change. Second of all, This is like all other Costa Rican laws and all other implemented rules and restrictions is only going to be strong as both the government and local capacity and really the interest in implementing it. I want to cite a couple examples here. The government currently has a leash law. Dogs are legally obligated to be walked on leashes in Costa Rica, and I don't see very many people using them at the beaches, at parks, on and on and on. It's one of many laws that the Costa Rica government has on the books, that's there on paper, that really police officers, the government, they have no infrastructure or interest in beginning to enforce, and that's the situation with a lot of policies here. Second of all, you can also look at how many establishments are going to be forced with implementing this rule on their own, and really how many establishments are going to be able to make their own choices day to day. I don't think that in a very small rural community where people have been going to these little family restaurants for decades and decades, you're suddenly going to see that if you can't produce your QR code entering into a restaurant, your health pass that the government is acting on and starting to develop, I don't see that restaurant owner rejecting 100% of the people, or I don't see that 100% of the restaurants in any given town are absolutely going to enforce it for every visitor, etc. The difference between that announcement and what the reality will be in December or January or February is going to be huge. Remember, yesterday we had a presidential edict. This is not law. This is not something that's already been fully passed, etc. So there's a big difference between dicho and hecho, or said and done, as they say here in Costa Rica. You never see life change that dramatically or any policy be implemented. And so again, I neither approve nor disapprove of what the government is doing. I just wanted to give some thoughts and context. If you liked the video, be sure to click subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.